Hi, hello, I'm Marina, you know, that one girl that likes to talk a lot about houseplants, and welcome to Millennial Planter. Today's video was actually another TikTok inspired video. I saw this girl, Leafy Diva, do this video topic on her TikTok. She's a great content creator, so you guys go give her a follow if you don't already know her, or if you're not on TikTok, I guess you probably don't know her. But anyways, I thought that would be a great topic to make a video because I have a lot of wish list plants that I would buy again. So I really tried to curate a true wish list plant video. So I went and I thought about all of the plants that I actually had on my wish list at one point in time. And here we are. And I'm sharing 7 of them, maybe 8 of them, depending on how long this video is, how long I talk. But my top 7 wish list plants that I would hands down buy again, or maybe buy several times again, because they've just been so great. The theme of this video is going to be easy, because they're so easy, because who doesn't love an easy plant? I know I do. Finicky plants like that queen back there, we don't need them. We don't need more of them. I don't even need one of them. But somehow we acquire these finicky plants and we grow attachments to them. But these plants, maybe you should try them out if you have them on your wish list, or if you do have them and you don't recommend these plants or you wouldn't buy them again, let me know that too. I'm actually really interested in hearing our different experiences. Also, if you haven't already and planty videos are your thing, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. I talk about all things houseplant related, the good, the bad, the ugly, the shopping, the care tips, just everything in between. If that's something you're interested in, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, and let's help propagate this community together. Now, without further ado, the first plant, oh, it's so hard to pick. Okay, we're just gonna go with this one. Okay, so the first one is actually going to be my variegated what is this called? I was gonna call it an Ethereum. This is a Monstera, a Variegated Monstera Borzigiana. I don't think it's deliciosa. Funny story, actually. I never really had a Variegated Monstera on my wish list necessarily. I actually always wanted a Thai constellation, but I still consider that like in the variegated family. So I acquired this elbow in a giveaway. Actually, I won it in a giveaway surprisingly close to 3 years ago now, and it has been amazing for me. So right now she's a little thirsty and she's a little brown because she's been giving me a lot of variegated, highly variegated leaves. As you can see, she's giving me some like half moons. She gives me some good marbling, which I'm trying to get more of. She's giving me some all white leaves. Like what is this about? I am not really sure. So we could see here this one is starting to crisp up, because that's just what happens with variegated leaves. They crisp up and they die off eventually. So it's gonna happen. I may have to chop her so we can stop getting so much variegation, but she's amazing. I was terrified of having this plant. This was probably one of my first most expensive plants in my collection. Actually, it really was, hands down. So I ended up having to propagate her from just aerial roots, and that's how I got into the whole perlite propagation world, if you didn't know. But I was just absolutely terrified to have this plant. It felt like it was way out of my expertise at the time. I was very just dipping my toes into the plant world, and then bam, a variegated Monstera. But she's been so freaking easy. So easy. I treat her just like my regular Monstera, and as you can tell, like maybe you can't, well, maybe you can a little bit, that droopiness. She's thirsty because I let her dry out, and I'm really grateful in hindsight that I have this over a Thai constellation, because I don't run into the same problems as I hear a lot of people with constellations go through. Like, I've never dealt with root rot. Even when I was propagating her, I've cut this plant at least 3 times and propagated plants from it, and they've all propagated well. I've given this plant away a few times, and those babies are also doing well. So overall, just a really easy plant, and it grows really fast. A lot of people with Thai constellations always complain about how slow they grow, and I can't say that at all for my elbow. Like, she's just constantly growing. There'll probably be about like a month in between when a leaf hardens off and there's like a waiting period, but before I know it, there's already a new leaf sticking out, coming through, and it's just so much fun to see what she's going to do. Like, are you gonna give me marbling, or are we gonna have another all white leaf? I kind of just like that surprise aspect. And luckily for you, if you have an albo on your wish list, they are very, very low in price nowadays compared to what they once were, especially in 2020. So maybe you'll be able to get your hands on one. My biggest tip is always, always, always to join your local Facebook groups, because they will have some really amazing prices. So there is my little Variegated Monstera. She's so cute. Next on my list is actually an Ethereum I had on my wish list for a while. I think I even made 2 wish list videos, and it was still like 2 wish list videos 2 years in a row, and I just had this Ethereum on my wish list. For some reason, it just took me forever to get it, and it wasn't even like a hard Ethereum to get. It is the Ethereumclarenervium, and it's actually like really extra special because my husband did actually get this for me, and it's just, you know, really special when he buys it for me instead of me buying it for myself. But I just love how freaking cute this plant is. You cannot tell me that those heart-shaped leaves aren't the cutest thing ever. They have the veins, they have sparkliness to them, they glitter in the light, and it also is an Ethereum that flowers all the time. So if you want to get into Ethereum pollinations, this is a great Ethereum to get and try to cross-pollinate with another Ethereum, or collect the pollen and self-pollinate itself. But this Ethereum grows so fast, and it is so easy. I have a few in my collection, and this one is like the easiest one that I have. I don't even really keep up with watering on the regular. It has been through periods where it was in 30% humidity, even in lower light conditions, and every time it has just been the best. Absolute best. And you can tell I have had it since, this is like one of the first original leaves, so I've had it since it was pretty small, and now this is the newest leaf, and the newest leaf is still hardening off. I'm really excited to finally see some bigger leaves. So hopefully the newest leaf, oh actually it's flowering again, as you can see right there. I'm probably gonna cut that off because I've kind of given up on Ethereum pollinations for right now, and I want this plant to focus on leaf growth. But that's the other thing too. I don't feel like the flowering of this Ethereum really takes away any energy from leaf growth as well, but it's just an amazing Ethereum. This is definitely a beginner Ethereum. I hear other people talk about how easy it is too, so I know it's not just me, but I would definitely recommend getting this if you want to dip your toes into Ethereum, or if you have this on your wish list and you're not sure if you want to get it. Highly recommend it. And then look up how big these leaves get. Just imagine a huge heart-shaped leaf like this, bigger than the size of your head. I cannot wait. And it's so good at holding on to leaves, because a lot of Ethereum like to lose leaves over time. Not the Clarenervium. It takes up a lot of awkward space, so it's kind of hard to store it on a shelf or something, but it's beautiful and so worth it in my opinion. Now we're going to go on to a philodendron, and this one is actually one of my newest philos that I have gotten. I got it in a trade, and it is Philodendron Majestic, and I know it doesn't look like much now because she's just a little baby, but she's so freaking cute. I love this philodendron so much. One of the easier philodendrons, and look at those red backs on the new leaves. Eventually that does fade, but it's still kind of there. But it's just so pretty. I love the silveriness to them. I did hear that that silveriness does go away when they start to mature, but that's fine. I am all for maturing plants and seeing how they look when they get into their mature stage. And I think this plant is adorable. And it's also in this little planter from one of my favorite ceramicist potters. She hand makes her pots, so I think it's like super cute to pair one of my favorite plants with my favorite planter. It's just so cute. It's so cute. You're so cute. I just can't get over her. But for no specific reason, yes, this plant is super easy, but it's just my favorite. I don't know. I just really enjoy growing this plant, and I can't wait to get some bigger leaves and put her on a plank. I think I'm probably going to put her on like a bamboo stake, because I'm feeling like this plant doesn't really need to attach its aerial roots to a plank or anything. I feel like it's gonna be one of those philodendrons that just needs support, and it'll give me bigger leaves. So maybe a bamboo stake will be perfect and way cheaper. Next is going to be a plant that is my forever favorite. I have a few plants that are my forever favorites, probably like 5 plants that I will always have no matter what, and Hoya Sarawak is one of them. I had this plant on my wish list for so long, and I never in a million years thought I would get it, because the prices that they were going for at one point in time were just absolutely insane. And I managed to get her in a trade from a really good friend, and it's been my pride and joy, if you haven't been able to tell. If you've been subscribed for a while and you've seen my other videos, I talk about this plant a lot, and I can't help it. I come into my plant room, and the first thing I look at is this plant, and y'all, look at this new leaf it put out. It is massive, and it's still soft. It's still hardening off. I mean, just look at that. It's almost bigger than my hand, and is mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. These are the other beautiful leaves that it's put out. When I first got it, it was just one leaf, so it was just that one huge leaf right there at the bottom, and it took a while to get established, probably about 6 months. I ended up putting it in my grow tent, and that's when it took off, and it shot out this huge vine here and has grown all of these absolutely gorgeous leaves, and now it's shot out 2 new tendrils, you can see there, and it has that huge new leaf, which I was shocked that the leaf grew in that big. It's amazing, absolutely amazing, and I definitely need to trellis it, do something. Right now it's just leaning up against the wall on my plant shelf, so maybe it'll attach to the wall. That would be pretty dope. But yeah, this is Hoya Sarawak, and it is a Hoya I feel like everybody needs in their life, especially if you love a dinner plate Hoya, a big leafed Hoya, because this one, it's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do when it gets super long. Like, it's already very top heavy and lopsided, and I don't plan on cutting it anytime soon. So I definitely am going to have to find a dedicated spot for this in my plant room with a really sturdy plant trellis. Yeah, but super exciting. Maybe I'll have it trail, actually. We'll have to see. I've never seen a Hoya Sarawak trail, but then the pot might be a little too heavy. Anyways, that's a problem for future Marina. But Hoya Sarawak, definitely top 5 favorite plant, a forever favorite, just like all of the things. I love this plant. Absolutely love it. Now going back to a philodendron. This one, I will say, is not the easiest. A lot of people have trouble with this plant, mainly because they are spider mite magnets, and a lot of people do say they like humidity. However, this is Philodendron Varicosum. I have had a decent experience with Varicosum. Have I had some Varicosums that have failed for no apparent reason? Yes. But overall, in my almost 3 years of growing Varicosum, it's been a fairly easy philodendron. So some things that I love about this plant. First of all, you can already see the abaxials. The backs of the leaves are super red, which is so beautiful, so iconic for a philodendron. It has the fuzzy petioles, which, you know, back in the day when I first got into plants, let's see, this pole is a little sus. Fuzzy petioles really freaked me out, but now I'm so into them, and the new leaves, their petioles are just extra fuzzy, and then it's velvety. Look at that. I know you can't feel it, but it is a super velvety plant. Also, don't mind my nails. I have to get them redone. But it's stunning. Absolutely stunning. I am currently growing this on a moss pole, as you can see, because I'm trying to get some big, juicy leaves. One of my plant friends, her name is Mitzi, she has an incredible, absolutely insane Varicosum that is probably the size of my body. And I'm trying to get a Varicosum like hers because that is just ultimate goals right there. I don't know how she does it, but I'm determined to get one of my Varicosums to grow like that. So in this pot, I actually have two. So this is the newest leaf. And then I have a little one down here. And that one is also putting out a new leaf. That new leaf is about to come out. And I also have another Varicosum on this plant shelf behind me that is doing really well. It's actually just on a regular trellis and it's not attached. It's not on any sort of like moist, like super humid area, and the leaves are getting pretty big. I'm actually pretty shocked at how well that one's growing. But Varicosum have just always been my forever favorite plants. Also with the Sarawak, I don't know why, they speak to me. I love them. I want one tattooed on me. I'm doing a whole Planty themed tattoo. I don't know when, but it's gonna happen. And Philodendron Varicosum is definitely going to be on that one. But yeah, she's so pretty, so beautiful. I hope to one day get the other Varicosums in the family. Yeah, that's going to be a goal of mine. Had to very carefully put that one down. That moss pole is pretty big. I actually just extended that moss pole too. So I'm excited to get bigger leaves. So excited. Now, my last and final plant, which this is actually going way quicker than I thought. So I'm probably going to put my honorable mention in here. But my last and final plant is another philodendron, and it is none other than Philodendron Splendid. So y'all, this plant, if you don't know, is a cross between Philodendron Majestic, which you can actually see right there, and then Philodendron Varicosum. Now, Philodendron Varicosum and Melanochrysum don't have the best reputation. They can be very finicky, especially Melanochrysum. Melanochrysum is ridiculous. Like, she's a diva for no reason at all. She wants super, super high humidity, like perfect, pristine conditions, or she'll come out with her leaves all tattered and super small, and she's just a hassle and a half. Philodendron Splendid, however, somehow took the very few good traits in its parents and became the best hybrid ever. It is such an easy plant, y'all, like such an easy plant. I've started this one from cuttings. I had a few Splendids at one point. This one was actually an import, and this import I had to reroot. And just every single time I've had to root a Splendid, it has rooted successfully, and it's been so easy. And the best thing I love about this plant, as you can see, it's on a moss pole, but it is not attached in any way to this moss pole, and it is sizing up its leaves significantly with no effort at all. So this is a new leaf here that is still very, very soft, very, like, still needs to harden off, and it's already the size of the previous leaf. Almost, you know, so you can tell this leaf is going to be bigger, and it just needs support. It just needs something to help it go upright, and it doesn't need to climb, which is amazing. I've been talking about it a lot, but if you're new, I am doing an experiment of moss poles versus planks, and in my observation, one thing is that a lot of plant species just need support. They don't necessarily need to attach to anything in order to get bigger leaves, and Splendid is one of those, and I just love when a plant is like that, and it grows so fast, and it's so easy. It's not even really that leggy. It doesn't really lose a lot of leaves either. It holds on to those leaves, and they're so velvety, and they're so beautiful, and they definitely have that Melanochrysum shape and Melanochrysum color, but then those new leaves are so Varicosum. And these are the backs. They're not super red like the Varicosum, but they're slightly red, and they don't have the hairy petioles. I kind of wish they did, but it's fine. So you know what? I think I'm going to put Splendid in my top 5 forever favorites also. So that's already 3. I don't know what else is going to be in my top 5 forever favorites, but this is definitely one of them because I love this plant. So hopefully I will make an extension for this moss pole soon, and then maybe in the next couple months we'll have well, this one's already the size of my face. We'll have a leaf the size of double of my face, 2 of my faces. But yeah, I'm just really on this journey of growing a lot of these philodendrons really big, and I'm so excited. And it's so exciting to mature some of these plants and not always like cut them and propagate them and have a whole bunch of small plants. I'm really excited to have a lot of big plants. Not sure where I'm gonna put them all once they all get really big, but we'll cross that road when we get there. But Philodendron Splendid, I would hands down recommend this plant to anybody. Beginners, intermediate people, people that have been collecting plants for like 10,000 years. I would recommend this plant to anyone, even to like my 10-year-old daughter. She could take care of this plant and it would thrive for her. Now my last plant is a plant that I probably talk about often also, because he is a king and he has his own throne in my plant room because he looks like this. This is my king Ethereum. And what even is this? I do not know. I really wish I would have somehow trained the leaves so that they were more put together, but it's fine. He has his own plant stand now right in front of my plant shelves because I have nowhere else to put him. He is just literally a king. But this plant will always have a special place in my heart because I grew it from a little seedling 2 years ago. It was this tiny. I got it for $10 at the shop Flora Fauna, and I grew it to this beast, and the leaves just keep getting bigger and bigger. This is an Ethereum that can tolerate low humidity. It can tolerate an underwatering. It just is one of the best. You know, I have the queen back there. The queen is definitely a diva, but the king is just the chillest thing ever. And I do know that king Ethereum seedlings can be really finicky. Ethereum seedlings in general can be really finicky. But I would say if you're able to get a seedling, because they're so cheap, I would say just to give it a lot of humidity. As seedlings, Ethereum really do love humidity. They love warmth. But once they establish themselves and the leaves start getting a little bit bigger, you can kind of neglect it a little bit and it'll be fine. And that is why I love this king so much. And he is just so beautiful. Look at that rippling. It's just insane. Absolutely insane. And this is another plant. I can't wait for it to mature and get bigger. And this is one, like, where am I going to put this if you keep growing it? If you keep growing out like this, I'm gonna have to cut some leaves or something. I don't know, y'all. Future Marina is gonna have some problems, but King Ethereum is just an Ethereum I have loved to grow. And I'm trying to remember if I actually had this plant on my wish list. I feel like I did at one point, but then I saw it at Flora Fauna for $10 and I was like, a king Ethereum? I can't pass this up. But I don't know if it was one of those things I heard about and I couldn't pass it up because I knew it was a king Ethereum, or if it was actually on my wish list and I was like, wow, it was only $10. Hell yeah, I'm gonna get that. King Ethereum, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So that wraps this video up. My 8 plants, my 8 wish list plants that I would buy again. Hands down. I would love to hear what plants you would buy again, or like I said in the beginning, if you have any of these plants and you don't want to get them again, I can definitely see the Varicosum, just because, like I said, so many people complain about the Varicosum. But also I'm thinking about doing this same video, but plants, wish list plants I will never buy again. Let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in. However, I might not have the plant to show, but we can talk about it. Maybe I can find some pictures from Instagram or something like that. But as always, I hope you all staying safe, sane, happy, and healthy, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.